It's a natural to be in the business as long as I've been in the business. I started in 1953. And I've been done everywhere. I've been all around the world, everywhere. Done all kinds of films, and knock wood, I'm still here. And my contemporaries and arts, I'm easily pleased and very grateful to still be working and being relevant. And they thought about me playing Daddy Moses. It makes sense. So the action, as they call it in the actor studio, is simple. His entire life is devoted. They get those people to the promised land, which is what, so it's nice, a simple action. And he does it. I call it the troika of the historical stories about slavery. Of course, I got an Emmy for Roots, and that's my grandparents. They were old enough for me to remember what they passed on to me. Got an opportunity to play them in Roots. So I transcended with my grandmother, my great-grandfather, and all of us. I represented them to say thank you, I guess. Then we went on to, I did the audiobook before the film of 12 Years a Slave, and that became a hit. So I think the troika, the third, is the six, this miniseries, the 6-hour miniseries, the Book of Negroes, to play Moses, which is kind of like a fiddler, but this time even more important than a fiddler, to get certain people who deserve it to the promised land. The hardest is theater. There's no cut, there's no commercial, there's no take two, there's no close-up, there's no long shot. It is what it is. So to study and start that way is wonderful, which is why I think some of our top actors today come from British theater. Because of that, and they're incredible because they have longevity. That's where I started. I started as a teenager. Then television in New York with the same people that were my directors and writers from theater. And I learned pretty solid stuff at the actor studio. Then coming to Hollywood to learn a new kind of craft where their story is going to be so internal, which works at the actor studio, and they can do it in a few takes as possible. What's the take? Take one, take two. Not only is it good to do it in a few takes as possible, but it saves the money. Now money is involved. And then you have to be clean and clear and match. And that's another thing that's involved, so that your film doesn't land on the floor. Then you do movies, which is a little luxurious, but basically it's all in the eyes and all in the face. And you have the internal thing. So starting from theater, all the way through television, to the major screens, which is high definition, school is never out. Well, the impact of Roots was not expected. The negative was expected. They had to settle. It's putting up 6 days in a row and get rid of it, right? Now, it's a different story. The Book of Negroes, we think it's about slavery, but it's about mankind and getting to the promised land, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And we all have a promised land to get to. And the sooner we get there, the better we are as a people. And this woman's journey is an example of us going through that promised land in one way or another. It's a deeper situation than Roots was.